Hello there everyone, this is Sorvesteon coming back to you from Riders of Icarus with yet another taming guide, this time for Blackwind. So if you don't know, Carleon Manor has two mounts in it that you can tame and, make your own. One of them is the Blood Destrier, which I've already done a video for, and that one is actually quite simple. You just need to get the appropriate mark off of one of the mobs in Carleon Manor. The other mount, though, is a little bit more difficult, and that mount is Blackwind. Now, Blackwind is also located in the Dower Stables. Here, let me open up my map. In the Dower Stables of Carleon Manor. However, he only shows up on the heroic stage. Now, he also requires an item, so if I go back, I should just leave this open. So, this mount also requires a special item to tame. He requires a convincing copy of his pedigree, and apparently a great deal of courage. Well, courage we have in spades. It's a copy of his pedigree that we need. Now, it's an item that can only be crafted. It does not drop off of any mobs in Carleon Manor, unlike the Blood Destrier mark. And I've already gotten a recipe. So here it is, the Carleon Stallion Pedigree. And you can see here I need quite a few things for it. And this is going to take you a while to gather all this stuff. And I'll explain why in just a moment. Let me open up my map of Carleon Manor again. So, the recipe itself actually drops off of Carleon in the Great Hall. So, by killing the final boss, you can get a copy of this recipe, which you can learn. And then you can, craft the pedigree once you've acquired this recipe and you've acquired all the parts. Now, the parts are actually where it's going to take you a while. That's where the difficulty is. Because you have to collect 3 different kinds of basically pedigree marks. The high pedigree mark, which drops off the final boss Carleon, so that one's no problem. But you also need to grab the mid pedigree mark and the low pedigree mark. Now, this is kind of where the trouble comes in. The mid-pedigree mark only drops off of Gustav. And he's the head chef in the banquet hall. The low pedigree marks drop off of the butler Lebrand in the manor chambers. Now, both of them are kind of like mini-bosses. But the problem is, when you come into Carleon Manor, and you can't do it in story mode. In story mode, you can only go into the Great Hall. Basically, the Manor Courtyard, the Dower Stables, and then you go straight into the Great Hall. But once you start running Elite and above, so Elite and Heroic stages, the key that you get off of the guy in the Manor Courtyard will allow you to open either the Banquet Hall or the Manor Chambers, but not both. And you can see this is where things are starting to get a little bit tedious, because you have to get 2 mid pedigree marks and 2 low pedigree marks. And so far as I've seen, anytime you kill Gustav or Lebrand, they only drop 1. Now you can farm this on your own, but if you go in with a group, well, there's going to be a lot more competition. So even farming it on your own means that you're going to have to go into the Manor Chambers and the Banquet Hall 2 times each. That means you basically, assuming that Carleon actually drops the high pedigree mark for you, as well as the recipe, the minimum times you'll have to run this dungeon on at least Elite will be 4, because you have to go twice into the Manor Chambers to kill Lebrand, and you need to go twice into the Banquet Hall to kill the chef Gustav. And that's if everything goes well for you. They don't they're not guaranteed to drop these things. So, you know, if you're not lucky, you're gonna have to go in more times than that. So this is definitely a mount that is a little bit more work to get. Well, it's more work to get than any other mount that I've tried to tame in Riders of Icarus so far. And I assume that, you know, this is kind of going to be the new trend, and mounts are going to become more and more difficult to get as I go up the levels. Okay, so here I am at the barter crafting station in Kelwoods, and I've got... where is it? Ah, here it is. So my Carleon Stallion pedigree, and I've got all the different things I need to make this, so I'm just going to go ahead and click craft. I am crafting a Carleon Stallion pedigree. Excellent. It was triumphantly crafted, which means I got 2 mastery out of it. Cool. Alright, so now that I have this thing, the Carleon Stallion pedigree, I can go ahead and I can go tame Blackwind. So as I mentioned before, Blackwind only shows up on the heroic stage, so either you need to go in with a party, or you can do like what I did with the Magma Hound, if you watched that video, where I can just select the heroic stage, but I can set the difficulty down to very easy, and then I won't have any problem going in just by myself, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to go ahead and create, and I'm just going to go straight into the dungeon on that setting, on the heroic stage, and I'm going to go get Mr. Blackwind. Okay, so with my Carleon Stallion pedigree all ready to go, I've got 3 of them. I love triumphantly crafting stuff. I am now ready to go after Blackwind. And Blackwind is right there, right behind Keaton. And I don't think I'm going to be able to grab Keaton or Blackwind on their own. I'm going to have to take them on at the same time. So it's a nice thing that I'm, you know, running heroic on very easy. I've already taken the luxury of clearing out the rest of the Dower stables. There were 2 Blood Destriers and some Gardener guys in here, which I've already pulled and gotten rid of because it would be a pain to take them all on. Blackwind himself is actually pretty tough. Way tougher than Keaton. And just because, you know, like, I've gotten 3 of these Carleon Stallion pedigrees, but if you only have 1, you definitely want to knock Blackwind's health down first before you try to tame him, because he is very strong, and you don't want to fail and have to go through the whole process of collecting all those pedigree marks again. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull Mr. Keaton here. Oh, I was able to pull him. Nice. That makes things simple and easy for me. Just get rid of him. Yeah. Cool. Alright, and that makes things super simple. Now I can just go after Blackwind by himself and just kind of like whittle his health down. I'm gonna have to be careful not to whittle his health down too much, because again, I don't want to kill him. But that doesn't particularly seem to be too much of an issue. I mean, look at this. Like, he's pretty beefy, you know, for a horse. So hopefully he makes a really good mount too. Ugh. Well, I was worried that I might kill him if I hit him too hard. I guess that's not the case. I'm gonna like have to go all out. In fact, holy crow, I'm already at half health. I'm gonna have to use a potion. And this guy is tough. Man, you know, like, I'm a tank, so I can take this, but, you know, if you were not a tank, then I imagine this could be quite difficult for you. Okay, no, I particularly don't want to have to go through this again, so I don't want to fail. And I did knock quite a bit of his health down, you know? Oh my gosh, are you for serious? Am I actually going to fail? Wow, did you see that? That was crazy. Well, I'm gonna have to try that again. That's right, you horse. You're gonna be mine. So stop playing around and just let me tame you. Did that consume a mark? Oh, maybe it did. Come on, come on, come on. Wow, I knocked his health down pretty darn far too. Wow. So Blackwind has been tamed. I mean, look at this. This is a pretty sick looking mount. I mean, yeah, it's pretty darn freaking cool. But man, was he a hard mount to tame? I mean, holy crow. Like, I've never had a situation where, you know, I failed on the first mounting attempt. You know, I've got all the premium bonuses, and I knocked his health down. Like, I did everything right, and yet I still failed on the first attempt. And how many of these pedigrees do I have left? I have one pedigree left. That means that when I failed on that first attempt, I lost a pedigree. And then it took another pedigree to tame him. So, you know, having multiple Carleon Stallion pedigrees is a definite bonus. For sure. Because, yeah, as you've seen, you may not succeed on the first attempt, despite, you know, having done everything right. Because this is such a difficult mount to get. Oh yeah, look at that mount. I mean, the armor on this horse is badass. Oh, that is just so sweet. I've never seen armor like look that good on a horse before. That is just so freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm totally geeking out here. Oh yeah. So, yeah. That's how you tame Blackwind. Definitely well worth the time in my opinion. I mean, for such a badass looking horse, heck yeah. I'm gonna ride into battle on this mighty steed, and he's gonna, like, impale people with the horns on his head. It's gonna be awesome. Or the spikes, you know, coming off of his hind legs. I mean, look at that. Oh, so freaking cool. Anyways, this has been Sorvesteon with my guide on how to tame Blackwind. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel for more videos about Riders of Icarus. Until next time, everyone, take care and happy taming.